Most people believe debt destroys lives. Parents warn their children about it. Schools barely explain it. And society tells people, stay away from debt. But here's the strange part. The richest people in the world use debt every single day. In fact, many billionaires become richer because of debt. So how can debt make poor people struggle while making rich people even wealthier? Because there are actually two types of debt: bad debt and powerful debt. And once Alex discovers the difference, his entire understanding of money changes forever. Average person. Let's look at Alex. Alex works hard every month. He earns his salary, pays bills, buys groceries, handles transportation. But eventually, Alex wants to look successful. So he takes a loan, not to build something, not to buy an asset, but to buy things that lose value. A new phone, designer clothes, luxury gadgets, a car he can barely afford. At first, it feels amazing. People notice him, friends compliment him, social media looks impressive. But then reality starts showing up. Monthly repayments, interest charges, unexpected expenses. And slowly, Alex realizes something painful. He's working harder now, just to pay for things he already consumed. The debt did not make him richer. It made him more dependent on his next paycheck. And this is how millions of people become trapped. Not because debt exists, but because they use debt to consume instead of build. The problem. Here's the dangerous part about bad debt. It steals your future income. Every month, part of your salary already belongs to someone else. Before you even enjoy your money, the debt collectors are waiting. And the worst part? Most of the things people buy with bad debt become less valuable over time. Phones get old, cars depreciate, fashion trends disappear. So people stay stuck in a painful cycle. Borrow, consume, repay, repeat, working harder, without actually building wealth. And while average people fear debt because of these experiences, wealthy people are using debt completely differently. Smart character shift. One day, Alex notices something strange. Big companies use debt. Real estate investors use debt. Business owners use debt. Even some of the richest people on earth borrow billions of dollars. At first, Alex is confused. If debt is dangerous, why do wealthy people use so much of it? That question changes everything, because Alex finally discovers the hidden truth. Debt itself is not the real problem. The real problem is what the debt is used for.
Imagine two people borrow the exact same amount of money. One person borrows money to buy expensive clothes and a luxury car. The other borrows money to buy an apartment building. At first, both people are in debt, but their futures become completely different. The first person now has monthly payments with no new income being created, but the second person owns an asset. Tenants pay rent every month. That rent helps cover the loan, and over time the property may increase in value. Now watch what happens. The debt stays mostly fixed, but inflation slowly makes money less valuable over time. That means the loan becomes easier to repay in the future, while the property becomes more expensive. This is the secret wealthy people understand. They use debt to buy things that produce cash flow. They borrow money to acquire assets. Real-world examples. This is how many wealthy investors grow fast. They do not wait 40 years saving every dollar. They use leverage. Banks lend money because they know assets can generate returns. That's why real estate investors borrow, corporations borrow, businesses borrow to expand. Even companies like Amazon, Tesla, Netflix have all used debt at different times to grow faster. Debt becomes powerful when it helps create more value than it costs. That's called leverage. And leverage is one of the biggest tools behind modern wealth. Poor people often use debt to buy liabilities. Rich people often use debt to buy assets. Poor people borrow to impress others. Rich people borrow to increase ownership. Poor people use debt for temporary pleasure. Rich people use debt for long-term cash flow. One type of debt drains your future. The other can expand it. That's why two people can both be in debt while living completely different financial lives. Most people are taught debt is evil, but wealthy people think differently. They ask, will this debt make me money? That question changes everything, because money follows assets, and assets often require capital. Sometimes wealthy people would rather borrow money and keep their own cash invested elsewhere. Why? Because they understand opportunity cost. They know money sitting idle may lose value over time because of inflation. So instead of fearing debt emotionally, they analyze it strategically. But this is important. Debt is dangerous when used without discipline. Leverage can build wealth, but reckless borrowing can destroy lives. That's why financial intelligence matters. Alex slowly changes his mindset. Instead of asking, what can I buy? He starts asking, what can generate income? Instead of chasing appearances, he starts studying assets. He learns about businesses, real estate, investing, cash flow, leverage. For the first time, Alex understands why wealthy people think differently about debt. They do not borrow just to spend. They borrow to acquire things that can grow in value and produce income. And suddenly, debt no longer looks like a trap alone. It looks like a tool. A dangerous tool if misused, but a powerful one if understood correctly. Ending lesson. Debt is not automatically good, and debt is not automatically bad. It depends on what the debt creates. If debt only helps you consume, it can keep you trapped. But if debt helps you acquire productive assets, it can accelerate wealth. That is the hidden difference most people never learn. The poor often fear debt because they experience its destructive side. The rich understand how to control it strategically. And the moment Alex understands this, he stops seeing debt emotionally. He starts seeing it mathematically.
If you want to understand the hidden financial systems wealthy people use every day, subscribe. Because once you learn how money really works, you stop playing the game like everyone else.